'cause I love this land. It takes my breath away.
Welcome back to Texas 10. I'm Melissa.
And I'm Doodling Steve.
Yeah, he wishes. But we are with a professional doodler, one of my favorite Texas artists, B Shawn Cox from Austin, Texas. Welcome, Shawn.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. I'm super excited. Thanks for coming to my studio to have me.
This is so cool. I mean, look at
I
this.
cleaned up
It's
for
like
you.
all the paint. I'm just so excited. I wish I could paint.
We'll do a painting.
So before we get into the art part,
Surely.
because if you see in his artwork, it is B. Shawn Cox.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us what the B stands for.
The B stands for Berry. B-E-R-R-Y.
So a big family name.
Big
right?
family name, no daughters, name died, named all the men after that generation Barry something.
Right.
So there's Barry Gordon and Barry Stephen and Barry John and Barry Todd. And
So they're very, very good.
Very, very good. My dad actually did go by Barry, but he was 6'4", looked like the Marlboro Man, and could pull it off.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't really pull off Barry Shawn Cox. It's kind of like, "Ugh." So B Shawn is much better.
Well, you pull off your name because this work you signed is unbelievable. We are here in Shawn's studio, and it just overwhelms your senses. It's so cool. It's so cool.
It is awesome. And so if maybe some folks have seen a prior episode where we featured one of your cowboy paintings, or painting isn't the right word. What would you call it?
I think they're paintings.
Okay,
I
all
mean,
right.
the drawings are drawings, but these are paintings, even though I'm incorporating mixed media into it.
All
I
right,
think
so-
they're mostly painting.
Let's start with the mixed media idea and explain what your process is, because they are unique. They are unusual, eye-catching, all the adjectives. So just tell us how you get there.
Fair enough. I'm a bit of a hoarder. I am always scavenging for patterns and ideas in different colors. Fabric is magic with colors and patterns. The other thing that's kind of cool about fabric is it harkens back. Even the new looks that we have today, when you isolate it, it looks old. But the fabric is kind of the basis for these paintings. And I start off, if you want to look up here, I just make a ton. Or I have an assistant that helps me make a ton more. And then I will start trying to figure out a figure to go into and incorporate into the fabric. But it's a given pattern that I want to marry with a figure, and then you've got the play of the figure ground.
So what inspires you first, the fabric or the figure or the person?
I kind of find them separately. So there's a look for me that I'm looking for as an iconic, not necessarily this is John Wayne, but it's somebody who looks like a cowboy. And from my point of view, it was, I don't look like a cowboy, even though I did. It's like, even though I did the job, I didn't get the cool look. It's like, I don't look like that. I can wear the boots and the hat, but it's like, still Barry Shawn. But there's that reality, but there's a look that people expect. And I think it's really perpetuated by cinematography, TV, and advertising. The Marlboro Man, John Wayne, all of these TV westerns that never came even any closer than that film to a cow or a horse or or dirt. So this clean, Americanized kind of icon is what I'm looking for, both as a cowgirl and a cowboy. And that's what I start digging for.
Well, I have to tell you, that is what we were in Lockhart, Texas.
Commerce, we got to do a shout out to
shout out to Commerce Gallery.
Sorry,
It's
Davis.
Great.
No, we're good.
We love Davis Gallery.
We love Davis too.
But we were at Commerce Gallery and we walked in. I think I told you my dad loved Bob Wills. And I saw these paintings, and my grandmother was a seamstress, and she too was a hoarder. And you would go.
I think those might go together.
I think this is really about you.
And she would have all this fabric, and I saw that painting or that whole, I mean, I didn't even care which one I had.
You just
I was
wanted
like,
one.
I said, Steve, we've got to get one. And they all had these red dots. And
So-
for those of you who don't know, a red dot means it's gone.
Somebody
Someone
else
has
is
bought
happy.
it.
Right.
Somebody else
And
is happy.
so
There's 3 people.
There
There's
are 3
the
people.
buyer,
The buyer, the artist,
and
and
the-
the gallery
right.
are all happy. Unfortunately, the
I
person...
was not. I was very sad.
Sorry.
And I could not get it out of my head. And my sweet husband surprised me and called up here and got one of your pieces.
from
and-
Davis. So
Yes.
we've covered
So-
commerce
Shout out to
and
Davis Gallery.
Right.
Perfect.
And so that's how we found you. And when we started doing this, we both looked at each other. We're like, we have to interview him. So we're super excited to be here.
Glad I piqued your interest.
Yeah.
So, because
So-
I'm doing it up here anyway, so I might as well get somebody entertained.
So you're right that the icon is the cowboy is maybe the most iconic American image.
I'm not going to argue.
Right, I have a
it's
hard
up
time.
there.
Those of us
there.
in Texas
Right.
anyway
And
feel
then-
that
yeah,
way.
right.
Go
In
south.
the West.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that you didn't just stumble on this; you grew up in West
I
Texas.
grew
So
up
give us a
in-
little background on that.
Fair enough. We grew up, we had land, cows, sheep, the occasional dog. Dogs did not do good on the ranch, but grew up working cattle, working other people's cattle, getting up at Saturday, day working, not
So
my favorite
whereas
thing.
little city boys threw papers,
It was 5 o'clock,
man's work.
exactly. 5 o'clock, I was on a horse going north, herding cattle down. Yes. And somehow kind of, I think I wore out my real life authentic cowboyness, maybe by about 13. It was like, this is not cool. Also, you would come home after doing that, exhausted, and watch Lonesome Dove, and they're all, beautiful women and very handsome men all having some drama, and not necessarily the same. The reality was very much disjointed from the perception from television, which I think is kind of ironic, and I think that probably starts showing up in the work. It's more esoteric. You start looking at it as not a cowboy, it's more of an icon, it's more of an idea of Americana and what you think a cowboy might be.
Well, one of the things we talked about, if you look at that cowboy, it looks like he's falling through the flowers.
Yeah.
And so when we first saw it, we were trying to figure out, what is this? Is it a painting? Is it, and so I love that you've pulled that off.
Thank you.
So how do you start? You come up with an image, you sketch it, and then you sketch it on the canvas.
I sketch it. What I've learned is for me, it's quicker and easier. Some things become very much like the Ford automation. So I used to grid out and then draw the image, and that squeak may mean we have a dog coming.
That's good.
Excellent. So if we're joined, we will be joined by
By
Elroy
Roy.
and Mud Pie.
Yes, they could come
Shortened
with
to
us.
Roy and
Pie
Okay.
at any
Great
moment.
dogs.
Yes, maybe. Or not. Or maybe the door just came in and we've got a ghost that we didn't know we had. They probably will join us at some point. But how I do them is I create my image, my sketch, simplify it digitally to an outline, print it large, and then I transfer that onto the paper. So I transfer it onto the fabric and then start manipulating. If I have trouble, I will project it on and look to see how it does. But that way I'm not dealing with perspective. I'm mostly dealing with color and value and getting the image integrated into the fabric.
Well, and then just looking at it's not your typical, it's almost like pop art. It's
It is very
almost
poppy.
very Andy Warhol.
There's a lot of, I love all of that stuff. I mean, it was interesting to go from my little West Texas town, and then I live in cities, and you get to see all this art. This was not in Odessa, Texas. This was not at the Permian Basin Oil and Gas Museum. It was not there.
Although a very good museum.
Great
I will
museum,
tell you.
nothing to say. But
There's the Tom Lee Old West, you know it when you see it sort of
Exactly.
thing. And it's great.
It is.
But it's something different. So that begs the question, was this in your head when you were in Monahans or Odessa? Or
I think this all it manifest after all of this other stuff. I think it was like, because I always drew, I sketched, I made. We didn't have a lot of money, so everything we had to make it. It was like tinkering and doing all these things. And this, I think the process of creating works that have layers and different media or medium is part of that tinkering process, problem solving. But they seem to, as I'm making, give me ideas for new things to try. It's like, oh, well, if this, then maybe this, and then, yeah, the rabbit hole is dangerous. So I kind of have to lay out, it's like Tamara or Suckley Dimmitt needs 7 of the, it's like I've got to sit down and do it, or I'll be off, creating something else.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I have another idea.
Well, that's a
you're an
creative
artist.
mind.
Is that?
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, it's
And
a
I would
dangerous.
hope you would do that because you don't want the same thing over and over.
Very, very true.
There are people who want the things, but
Yeah.
I want to see your new things. too.
I get that too. It's always, I like, it usually builds on itself, and I'll come to a point sometimes with a painting, I'll get to a point where I'm like, I don't know what color that's supposed to be, or I don't know how that shape's supposed to integrate. Set it aside, start another one, and it's like, oh, that's how I finish it.
Well,
It'll give me ideas.
Yeah.
That's really odd how the human mind works. I'm going to be much more basic, but when I'm doing Wordle or one
Yeah,
of the
Going
same.
there.
You step back.
right, and it's
you get a little
obvious when you
refresh.
come back.
You get a little refresh. You're better. It's the time. Yeah,
Yes.
it's either you can sit there, watch TV, or doom scroll, or maybe work on something and come back. And your mind, I think your mind wants to solve problems that you enjoy. I think that kind of is what we're kind of wired to want to do.
So this is the teacher in me that wants to
Ah.
know. Were you the doodler in class?
I doodle.
Did you get in trouble for doodling?
Have I ever gotten in trouble? Probably.
Because that would make me sad.
Yeah,
but-
well, I don't think anybody messed with it. I was pretty selective. I was very much by the book. I mean, both my parents taught as well. That
Your dad
their
was a rancher and a teacher?
chemistry and physics.
Wow.
Yes.
Mind blown.
And
What
I
a
had
guy.
them both. I had my dad
Oh,
twice and my mom
oh,
was
wow.
a teeny little town. Yes. The funny part, my dad was he was a piece of work. But they taught right across the hall from each other, and he would introduce my mom as his first wife.
Which
And
was
people-
true,
It
right?
was very true.
It was true. It's
Yeah, happened to
literally
be the
true.
only wife, but
Right.
yes, his first wife. And people would not. Some people never figured out that was my dad and that was my mom.
So tell us a little bit. Did you have any formal training, or does this all come from your doodling?
I wish it all came from doodling. I'm self-taught. And there have been a lot of influences and teaching. So my undergrad's architecture, and I went to school at a time when we drew. There was no CAD.
Right.
So my core was basically classic drawing. I learned to draw columns and scale and perspective and cubes and what have you. And then the art school was right next to it, so my core classes let me get a minor over there without having to take their core. So it was awesome. I could go do my architecture and then slide over there and take ceramics or advanced.
That's right brain, left brain.
It
sort of
is. All
stuff.
like boom,
Yeah, okay.
boom, which was super duper fun. And
Yeah.
then thereafter, I always took like a night class. I'm constantly taking little classes or workshops. I always enjoyed it. So
Is it a stress reliever?
to some extent,
But
yes.
it sounds
Now
like-
it's like a
Now
job
it's a
where
job, so it sounds like it's stressful,
It's
but
kind
at
of
the
amazing.
beginning.
Yes,
That's what
yes.
they say. and
It
it's-
is. I think it's stress relieving while it's still the creative process. For me, I'll get to about 90% and I'm like, oh, it's almost done. I know
Yeah.
what that's going to look like. Somebody else needs to finish it. Unfortunately, nobody does. Nobody finishes
Right,
it.
that's the
I'm waiting for the
last-
brownie or the
right.
little
I'm
fairy
gonna
or
say-
somebody to come
I'm
and do
going to
it.
say I'm going to be mad if I buy one of your pieces and I find out that someone else finished it.
Nobody
Just
finished
saying.
it. I will tell you, my assistant sometimes paints the edge on the
Okay,
back.
I'm okay with
I figure, and he will varnish them because he does a much better job than I do.
I'm okay with that.
Yes, he's very meticulous. I'm
Okay,
like,
well, you
"Oh,
got to
fine."
give a shout out to your assistant.
Shout out to Scott Gordon. He's the
Okay.
man.
All
He's the
right,
man.
there you
Yes,
go.
thank
Okay.
you, Scott. You've made my life much better.
Well, we were noting also that you're not like a Bob, what's his name? I don't know.
Bob Ross.
Ross.
Bob
No.
Ross. It's, look at, I love this. Yes, look at this. That is that's art right there. In,
Some people think so.
in
I
some
don't-
galleries,
that could be.
there are
Yes.
some famous galleries.
Right.
I'm pretty sure I saw this.
Yeah.
Just put a big price tag on it.
I know. Now this is $20 billion. Call Gagassian now. I have taken the formal classes. I know how to set up chromatic charts, how to do all that. I basically am doing a lot of color matching and value matching when I'm making a painting, and I create a kind of my own palette. And this is just finishing up and redoing, and I just go back, and it's where there's a spot, there it is. And since I've moved to acrylic, once it's dry, you can go right on top. And this is fun, it peels off.
Oh, so see, if I was having a stressful day, I
that
could
would be.
You've got a compulsive.
Oh, I could do that
Have fun.
person for you.
Yeah, you
oh,
can enjoy.
You're finished with this?
Oh, yeah, you can have it.
Oh,
It's all
cool.
good.
Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Okay.
Go amongst yourself.
Right.
No, it is so satisfying.
Right.
This is so
It's
cool.
like the bubble.
It's
The-
insane.
right.
ASMR, whatever that
Yes.
is. Yes.
All right, so
we're
so we've sort of explored a couple topics, but how did you get from architect, and I know there's an interim stop, to full-time artist?
Yes. There was quite an interim stop, probably 20, 25 years of
Okay.
various corporate legal and law
you're a
firms.
lawyer, too.
I am an attorney. I'm a recovering lawyer.
Recovering
Although I
lawyer.
do occasionally.
Congratulations.
I do. I'm trying. I
You
still
have
end up-
relapses, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I have relapses. I'm like, how does this contract work? Oh God, it happened. How does copyright work on this? Oh, it comes back. It's like I start remembering
It's a
that.
good skill to have,
It
though.
is good to know. Good to know. And it's a rational problem-solving skill. You know, it's like looking forward. Dog left. Dog's like talking about law. We're out of here. Boring.
I'm here for the artist.
Yeah. So essentially, this was more of the transition was more of a life transition outside. My wife and I were both working. She's a physician, and I'm full-time attorney, and we're just working and working. We had a nanny essentially raising our child, and it got to a point where there were conflicts, and we just decided one of us needs to be a parent. And physicians make more than doctors, so
You mean lawyers?
lawyers. Yeah, physicians is a doctor. Yes, isn't it?
It's okay.
It's okay. No, it's not. It's not okay. Cost extra. No, physicians make yes, because I was not allowed to be a doctor that would sue physicians. That would be
Yeah, that
that would be
not-
bad.
no.
Yes.
No, when I first met her dad, it was like, "Are you that?"
That kind of doctor?
Do you
Chase
chase
the ambulances. I said,
ambulances?
no, don't do that. I'm a paper one. But anyway, that kind of was the small beginning of the art career. And I would be, I was, primary caregiver for our little kiddo, and would end up doing projects for the school galas and the
I
things.
know those
Yes.
schools.
You know
Right,
these, you know
yes,
these.
right.
No,
yes.
like I could use you now.
Oh, okay. Uh-oh, hello.
So you're just a Renaissance man.
I may be a mile wide.
A
and-
Wild West Renaissance
Yes,
man.
come here. Oh,
Oh,
Okay, are we getting
come on.
there's pie.
Pie.
This is
Hi,
pie. This is pie. Right.
Pi is very concerned something's going on without him.
It's okay,
I know,
pie.
it's
It's going to be
okay.
fine. Are we done? Oh, we're embarrassed. Come on.
So sorry.
All right.
But Pie,
Anyway,
you're,
we're gonna
you're
make-
our first dog on Texas 10.
Pie,
You're
you're
a
gonna
star.
be. Yes.
10 and a half.
Does he have an Instagram account?
No, he does not.
He should.
He should. Pie's pie. See, he's done.
Well, as long as I'm asking that.
Yeah.
Okay. Why don't you get your socials or where people can see your
Okay.
stuff out there? Make sure we get that covered.
Fair enough. Socials at Shawnathon01 on Insta. B Shawn Cox, BSHAWN, Cox.com. And then Commerce, Davis Gallery, Demick Contemporary, Fort Works Art, and Horizon Fine Art.
Well, and we'll put all of that on the episode too. So you
Right.
can
And I'm
see
sure if
it.
I forgot anything, there'll be a beating later. So no, that's all of it.
You'll just have to do a
Exactly.
couple more
Okay.
paintings.
Exactly.
So in the story, right, you were taking care of your daughter
Mm-hmm.
full time, and then she gets a little bit older.
I had more time.
You have a little bit more time,
I know.
and you segue from that to a guy that's got 5 galleries he's in, and okay,
It's one
so
of these bizarre things. I think COVID actually helped. So in my rational mind, I'm like, this is how I'm going to do this. I'm
Right.
going to break in because I've been doing the studio tour, and people came, and I hear you.
it's okay.
Hi, Mud.
People would come to this studio and stop. We may have to hold pie. Would come to the studio. I would do okay. I'd be in little group shows. I would get art advisors for commercial projects. One of the first things that happened, Austin Art Boards, I got selected. So my work was on billboards around the town.
okay. Right.
That was kind of one of the first things. I called my wife and said, I got Austin Artboards. She's like, how much does that cost? And I'm like, it's free. It's so awesome. It's free. How much did that cost? But it is that kind of slow thing. I've been doing it a long time. And my thought was, I'm going to get a show at the Doherty, because you could do a public show. And then I'll invite the galleries. I'll have this cool body of work. And then somebody will say, oh my God, we want you. So before any of that happened, Davis came by because some people had been working on framing. I think Commerce changed the way they were doing their schedule and started opening for more artists. They had come by, I think Donna had come by several times before during the studio tour. So I got a call there. And then the other galleries that I've been in all contacted me from Instagram or one of their clients saying, hey, we need X. So it's like, it's bizarre.
Okay, so my question is, this starts to happen for you. Is your reaction, great, it's happening, 2, I'm overwhelmed, or 3, I wasted 20 years?
I think a combo of all of these. If you can do this, yes. The piece of it that is just shocking is how much business stuff and logistics it takes to run it. Right. It's like you can't offset the product. I mean, there's some people who can have somebody else make it. I can get help, but I still have to paint it.
Right.
I mean, maybe there's somebody I can train or somebody. I know there's somebody easily better than me, but they have to do me, and nobody wants to do me. No, they don't want to do all of it. Right. Nobody wants to do it. But it's those combination of all those things. And I think I was so numb, that's the dehumidifier. I was kind of just overwhelmed and adrenaline, it just never stopped. The weirdest one is I was invited to be in a group show. They sent me a FedEx mailer and said, please call us. And that was a gallery in Santa Fe. And I'm like, oh. I was like, I'm sorry, I think I've been violated. That's what I was expecting, a certified letter. But a FedEx letter. And she's like, that's
pay our mortgage?
Yes, I know. Did I screw up? Did we forget? Did something happen? And it was a gallery in Santa Fe wanted me to be in a group show. And I asked her why she did that, the gallery owner. And Catherine was like, I always get a response. Because it works.
Well, that's true. It catches you. It caught your attention.
It caught my attention, and even the DMs are. You're like, oh, is that a real gallery? You want to look and go. But no, that has been my crazy. It's like if I had 5 easy steps that I could have my own program. If you do these 5 things, you too can become
the real one, the Facebook reel,
number 4. Exactly. But I think everybody's path is different, and where this goes from here we'll find out.
Well, I think that's what makes you so unique is that this is the fabric of your life.
My next show. Dump.
I couldn't read.
No, you had to do it.
I had to do it.
You had to do it.
I was going to say, but it is.
It is.
That's why I was drawn to you, because I think this represents you.
All right, so speaking of that.
Or the fabric of your life.
Right, no, but because there is a lot of personal stuff that is in your, and you recently have had the Tumblr series.
Yes.
So let's talk about Tumblr.
Yes, what I've found is it seems like little things from my childhood are good anchors for a show. So I like to come up with an idea for a show and then see where it builds. And it's like, can I add drawings? Can I add the folded paper? Can I come up with a new concept to deal with? So Tumble, this idea of these floating cowboys kind of came in my mind. And it harkens to Longo and those, do you remember those people, men in the cities in the 80s? A lot of that kind of work, but it's a graphic person that's convulsing and they're really painful. But I was like, no, let's be soft. So kind of the life story was my granddad gave us a half Shetland, half quarter horse pony to raise and to break, which was vicious. Absolutely vicious. It was a great, very sweet animal, very kind.
As long as you weren't riding it?
As long as you weren't riding it. And it was fine to ride, it's just not heading back home. Because the end of the ride, every time, no matter how long you rode him, no matter how long you soaked this animal, you would end up on the floor. So
That was a point of pride.
it was like, and we're headed home, and you're off my back. Thank you. And he trots up to water. That's just how he rode. And I mean, my dad was 6'4". He would do it, and he could butt my dad off. It was this little thing. I mean, but my brother and I are like 12 or 9 and 12 or whatever we are, 11 and 12. We were just candy. It was like, so this little paint, he was soft paint colored, bucked us off. His name was Saphead, and eventually Saphead no longer became part of the puzzle because we gave up trying to break Saphead.
Right.
But from a kind of urban reality, and going through life, and we have all these stresses and relieving stresses. Going to art class is really stressful. But living in the moment is kind of one of those metaphysical things that you hear all the time. This is, in a way, living in the moment, because you're riding along on your course, and everything's fine, and then you're like, he starts bucking, and you're like, it's all over, but you get thrown off. So it's kind of that slow motion feel where it's like, okay, maybe it's not a cactus.
Right.
Maybe it's going to be fine.
Right.
Sand would be nice. Caliche, not so nice. But you've got that moment, and the other time I've had that experience was I've been in a car wreck before, and it's where time slows down. So it's a weird sensation. But anyway, that's what I was trying to capture with these tumbles, these slow moment in time before something good or bad happened. And the idea is that maybe you can make a decision at that time. Probably not when you're being thrown off a horse, but in life, maybe if you slow it all down, you get to make those decisions. So anyway, that's what I'm trying.
Well, they're awesome, and so.
So I've got a suggestion.
Oh.
Okay. So, it's a series, and one of one. I want a picture of Saphead.
I'm going to have to find Saphead.
Okay.
There's, my parents' house burned, but Mom has a lot of photographs. They do have one of my, I've got to find it again. Somebody was like, you were never on a ranch. And I'm like, oh yeah. And I had my reserve champion Charolais steer. And I was 9 years old. And my dad was scared to death that I wasn't strong enough to hold. I was this little skinny nothing. This thing was huge, giant white steer. And he was tame he was like a puppy. But I mean, he could just drag you anywhere. So, and I keep moving that. So they gave him a tranquilizer, and he slowly ate the collar off my shirt. So I've got the picture, and he got reserve champion, and I've got my shirt collar is completely wet, and my fly is open. So
But you got a big check, didn't you?
I did from the sale. He got to
Right.
go to the sale,
Yes.
so that was very exciting. But yes, that picture
But
exists.
then he went to the sale.
Yeah, we always had one that we would name, and then one we called dinner. So we kind of divided that up. So supper, we'd have supper.
I see. I'm not cut out for
You're
it.
not.
Well, you eat it.
I know it's so
Well, I
delicious.
didn't know
Yes.
it.
I know it's hard. It's hard if it has a name.
So you were 4-H and all that.
4-H,
too.
all 4-H. We didn't have FFA, but I did all the 4-H. I was Gold Star boy. I did all the nonsense.
Wow.
Ye.
And if you were a girl, you could have been the queen.
I could have been.
All right. So now your dad wasn't around for the flourishing art career. Is that
Just got to see the beginning. Of
Okay.
it. He got to see the beginning of
okay?
it.
Now, but your mom still
Mom still shows up. Y'all probably met her. She
at
was
the
Tom
gallery.
Hall.
I'm
I
not
don't
sure.
know that we did,
But so is she surprised? What's the adjective that goes to mom and Sean's art career?
She's okay, the funniest part is my brother's kids. My brother's kids are older than our child, and he's got them all the way up to like 25. So they're grown. One of them's having a grandbaby, all this good stuff. And they find it fascinating that Uncle Sean with a red dot can make money.
Right.
They think it's just absolutely amazing. And the fact that most of these gallery openings have free alcohol and snacks.
bonus.
It is so cool to go see Uncle Sean.
Well, see, what they need to do is you need to plant them, and
I
they need to
did.
go. They're only asking $12,000 for this. I really think it should go for 24.
Right.
Yes.
That's a steal. We'll take 4.
I think the show that you were at was a particularly really well received show, and they were sitting there guessing the next one to sell, and I was like blown away.
Well, I mean,
Blown away.
Okay. All right. But,
That is super ego bad show.
Okay. Wait a minute.
It was
No, you
nuts
should be
though.
so proud.
I was
Right.
just amazed.
It's so great.
So I'm back to mom. Though,
Oh, yeah,
okay?
back to mom.
Because I have this theory that we spend our lives either trying to make them happy or make them mad.
Oh,
one,
sure.
one or the other.
True,
Okay.
true.
So
Yeah.
I mean, she looks at Sean and says, "You're making money doing art." So
she's tickled by it in so many ways. Dad was always like, I mean, because I had done ceramics and things and had little side gigs while I was in school, selling the stuff I made in class, and would do drawings, and I would get in little things and it would sell. And it was more of a Christmas present kind of thing on Dad's view. Mom is kind of really surprised at the evolution of the work. You know, it's not traditional Western art, but it still is very Western. And then she gets excited coming to the show. She loves it.
Does she have a piece hanging in her house?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yes. She usually
how much did she pay for it?
Mother's Day.
Okay.
No, one of the coolest things I got to do for Mother's Day this last time was I just told her, it was so cute, and I was like, just go pick one of the tumblers, the drawn tumblers, and she spent some time.
I bet.
She spent some time and picked her a tumbler, and then called me back and said, I want a boy too.
I know how she feels.
I feel her pain. Yeah, but yes. Interestingly supported. I always drew, and I mean, even in law school, I made the banners. I kind of, when I think back on all these things, it's always like, oh yeah, and
They
I would
said, hey, let's get Sean to do it. He
Sean
can
would
do
do
it.
that. Yeah, we'll make the T-shirt design. He could do that, sure. And so if the technology would just stop changing, it would be good for me. I remember hated that because I remember old school where you could really control, and now the interface is for someone much younger than me. That's what I believe.
So I saw that great sewing machine and embroidery machine. Do you ever incorporate sewing into your work?
Not yet, but it could happen.
So
So
you
I was
playing with it?
I have played with it definitely. My kiddo is what we bought that for some project she was working on. But the idea was to do embroidery on gloves. So like the knuckle tats, except you say like Wild West, and it would be under gloves, embroidered on. And again, the ideas, and now you have to master actually doing it. But someday.
Okay, you mentioned ceramics.
Yes.
I love pottery.
Yes.
And, I mean, have you ever thought about, have you ever tried sculpting look at him, he's so excited.
Yeah, so I did. I have the one amazing thing about once I got my core done at Tech, they had this whole world of upper level classes. So I took metal, I took all of lettering, I took all these classes that everybody else would have to like go through the core and wait for. So I was taking, junior and senior level classes as a sophomore. And like I did foundry stuff, ceramic. We got to do the salt fire craziness. And what I liked about clay, we were talking about the clay, is you could get it leather hard and then carve it so it looked like leather.
Oh, so incorporate some of that into your...
Oh, she's full of ideas. He has enough ideas all on his own.
I have been literally forbidden for having any more media. I cannot have a kiln. I
I don't know
cannot.
who is forbidding that, but
I
I,
know.
disagree. Who
There's
do I
some-
need to talk to?
You can talk to John.
We'll go to dinner.
Y'all be fine.
be fine. I'll get her a drink. I'll get her a drink.
No. I got to move in the house just for the drawings. Because the drawings have to stay clean, which is not my forte.
So you got to Austin.
Yes.
So when did you get to Austin?
About 17 years ago.
All right.
17 years ago.
So
It was
do you
so
think
different.
you would be where you were if you were in Lubbock or Odessa or Moynihan's or
Garden City.
Garden City? I don't. That's a fair question. I think we kind of all where you are and what you do. Houston really helped because my wife and I were both taking, essentially we're graduate level classes at Glassell. So some of the private schools use Glassell as a full art school, and it is a full art school. So that was that immersion in that level of metropolitan art, I think really opened my mind. I was always amazed when we've gone back. It's like the Winter Street Studios and all of the art and the museums. It's like what happened? Austin's great, but we found the studio tour, and the studio tour kind of made up for that little piece somewhat. But we also had a kid, so all we did was kid stuff anyway.
Yeah,
It's like, you got to feed them and keep them alive.
Yeah, they sort of take over
It's
your
big,
life.
It
Yes,
does. It does. Or get another dog. That's insane.
Okay, so is Isabel, right? That's her
Yes.
name. Is she super proud of you, or is she like, Dad, one more cowboy, or?
No, this was, so it was kind of this whole like, what are you? Are you a recovering lawyer, a recovering architect? And I don't remember what grade she was, but we had to go for private school, you have to go and do interviews.
Yes.
And they asked.
She's often doing the interviewing.
You know
Right.
what I'm talking about.
Yes, I do.
And it's like this awkward thing. Are you the family for us? And I'm like, and they look at us and they're like, oh.
Poor Isabel.
But she introduced me as, what is your dad? They asked her what her dad did, and she said I'm an artist. Because I've always just said I'm a lawyer.
Right.
And she's like, oh, my dad's an artist.
Oh, I love
And
that.
that was, I
How
was
old
like,
was she?
this was probably
Are you-
5 or 6 years ago. She was in middle school.
Okay.
Did that bring tears to your
It
eyes?
just kind of, it hit me in a really good way. It was like, whoa, truth, ouch, okay, good.
I
guess
accept that.
I accept that. I apparently am doing that. This is what I'm doing.
Right.
You know, it's not contract legal stuff on the side or anything like that. It's like, he's an artist. That's what he does. So
I love that.
it's pretty cool.
Right.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
no, she's.
That's quite an aha moment,
It
isn't
is.
it?
It's like
Yeah.
from the mouths of babes. I think that's what it. Yeah, but they tell us. They let us know. Yes.
Yeah, so you were accepted as an artist.
I was-
because you know why? Because we have all kinds of things we could use artists for.
We're good at illustrating.
valuable.
I have skills.
Right.
I have skills. I have skills that can be utilized and marketed.
Who inspires you as an artist? Who did you look to that you? Is there
my
any? Is there
God.
an artist that inspires you, or that?
For me, it's a weird thing that I kind of, the friend group of artists that kind of started when I am, that's who I look to. We kind of compare, we don't compare, well, we do compare, I'm sure we do. So there's always competition.
Right.
I've got to win. But it's more of a friend group instead of looking out and say, oh, I want to be Hockney, or I want to be Warhol, or I want to be this. It's for me, it's little pieces and parts. One of the artists that this is another little side. Sorry, if you can cut it if you want to.
No.
But so
Now we can.
a gift. A gift. My wife is, in her own way, wonderfully manipulative and very sweet. So she would become obsessed with certain artists, and over the years, that would become my gift at Christmas or birthday. It's like, you can have a workshop with this artist.
Ah.
So there's
that's
yes,
cool.
Right.
and one of them is a guy named Robert Moore. He's he's a regional artist.
There's
There's one out there.
Right,
There's
there
one
is
out
one
there.
then.
Yeah, so I got to do 3 or 4 workshops with Robert Moore in the middle of nowhere in Idaho, and he was the first person that kind of really fundamentally like flipped it and showed you the business side. He was very open and said, I've got 13 galleries and each of them get this many, and I've got my shows scheduled this way, and my margins are here, and if it doesn't sell here, it goes to here, and this is how I maintain. And he has, since he graduated from, I don't remember, some art school in California, that's what he did his whole life. And he has 6 kids. All of them have gone to college. Everything is completely normal and fine. Very sweet people, and an amazing painter. And he probably, of anybody, was most influential. Now, our work doesn't look anything alike. Toward the last few times I would go to his workshop, he just let me do what I wanted to do. And it was very sweet. One of his assistants came and told me later, who's also an artist and a friend, he's like, Robert always wanted to see what you did. It's like everybody else would like make their thing, and then Sean.
Teacher's pet.
Well, it was always like, he's not following, it's like
Right.
you say, don't make me follow the
Right.
syllabus, I'm going to go run amok. But very insightful kind of real life art. And that's something, you don't see it.
Right.
I mean, people try to do the 5 easy steps and the internet stuff. But
Well, I think it shouldn't be, but for so many people, it's a risk to say, I'm going to try to make it as an artist. One of our other favorite Texas artists is a guy named Matt Tumlinson.
Yes.
Are you familiar with his
I
work?
know his work, yes. He's amazing.
Well, we found him. He was doing murals in Rankin,
Yes,
Texas.
yes.
Small world. He is the son of one of our friends from high school.
Small world.
So anyway, but
Because we all in Texas are somehow related.
right, yeah.
Contrary to popular
Right.
belief, are
It's that 1 degree of separation. But
1 degree separation from Saphead. That's,
there you go.
Yes,
That's all it
we're
is.
so
That's
close.
so close.
But
Did you have a horse name? No, that was my cousin. Oh, you know Johnny Lou?
Twice
Yes,
removed.
Twice removed.
But one of the things that he said in our interview with him is he decided, I'm going to take a risk and I'm going to try to make a living as being an artist. And he has young kids.
Yeah.
And I just thought,
It's amazing.
I shouldn't think, oh, that's so brave. Why do we discourage creatives and say, you know what, you've got, and I think
It is.
as educators, sometimes we snuff out the creativity. I hope we don't at my school, but
It is.
It
because it took a while for me to recover
Right.
from
well, there's
billing hours.
Well, I mean, it's
there's
society.
2 things there.
There are.
Though. I think that there's a much bigger variance in outcomes
True.
for people, and then that's the economic side. But it's like if I am working as a lawyer and I get a contract that my boss looks at and has a couple of red marks on, it's not that big of a deal. But when you're an artist and you say, this is my idea, this is what I'm about, and if it doesn't sell or if you get bad review or whatever,
I mean, you're all there. That's the piece. You are like generating something that's never happened before. You're creating a Model T on your own with your own money and your own time, and hoping everybody wants to drive a Model T or whatever. It's that kind of thing.
Right.
And when you look at it that way, and on top of it, nobody really needs this Model T anymore, because it's like I'm inventing a Model T in 2025 because that's my dream and my passion. But when you look at it that way, an artist you're in your own little world creating something that nobody. From ground up, you've done the research, you've done everything, and then you're having to use your resources to create a product that people may or may not want. You can test it a little bit, but you don't know.
Well,
You
and
don't know. You trust the world, but your skills
Right.
don't necessarily.
And so tell me about testing, because you can have people ooh and ah over it, but until they write the check,
It is.
that's a whole
It is.
different level.
It's very, very true. Little things like so I just started, and I had Davis and Commerce, and Tamara's the owner of Tamara Carlisle owns Commerce, and she called me and she's like, you realize it's 76 feet. And I'm like, okay. That's me. Everything's like, okay. I know what 76 feet is. It's 325. I can do that. She's like, at the time I was making 12 by 12s and 24 by 24s. And I was selling the crap out of 24 by 24 fabric cowboys. As fast as I could make them, I could sell them. And she's like, you got to go bigger. And that's
bigger,
the
go
same kind of
home.
thing. It's like all of a sudden your Model T has to be a station wagon with a trailer in a month. All of a sudden, and how does it work when you scale it to a bigger scale? When when you need to learn another skill to make it happen, or invest in a new piece of equipment. Again, you're all of it right there, and it's all the risk. And honestly, it's half the reward, because the galleries take half for the most part. So if you get the half back, here you go.
So here's another. So most of us who work, especially up until COVID, is you're on a team, you're collaborating. Do you ever get lonely?
Yeah,
Because it's very.
I can be social, but I am an introvert. I'm on that spectrum of thing. You don't believe me, but I can
don't
play it.
believe you.
I will have to take a nap after this interview. I can be as social as I need to be, but then I have to go back to my little hole, and Pi will go with me. And
Pie's already taken.
Pi
Pi
is
is 24/7.
Right.
It's like I got tired of waiting. Oh, we're talking about you. But it is that having, I think that's the piece that people, there's the glamorized
Right.
of that, or the suffering artist that's been
Right,
waiting
right.
to be
Don't cut your
discovered.
ear off.
No, I can barely hear anyway. Apparently I have selective hearing, I've been told. Anyway, different games. But this whole business into one and not looking at it as just a creative output, you have to have a quality product. You have to present it in a quality way, and you want it to be in the best environment possible for the best people to see it. You know, it's this constant game. In a way, it is a game to grow and create. And in the same way, people have you learn that, like you've told me, you have an expectation of what you want to see from me, but you want to see something different.
Right.
But you really like that one from 3 years
Just
ago.
play the hits, right?
Exactly.
If you go to a concert,
Yeah.
play the hits. Well, except I need to move on.
I
from the
did,
hits.
indeed. And-
Well, I moved with you. I loved the swingers.
Okay.
All right, so let's segue to that. What's next? What's the
Next is I've got a show called My Second Rodeo. It's going to open either the 15th or the 20th. They're trying to coordinate with a city council thing up in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, at Horizon Fine Art, and it's pieces and parts of. It's my second rodeo, so it's kind of the greatest hits. So I'm kind of excited to show that up there. I've not done a full show for them before. So that's a solo show there.
and going to Jackson Hole that time of year? That's a pretty tough
There's
gig.
worse things to do. There's way worse things to do. Still ongoing in Sun Valley, Idaho, is Demick Contemporary through the 3rd has a pop-up up there, and they seem to like my work too, which is exciting. And that's work left from Tumble. So that's the Tumble series.
All right, so we got to wrap up, but
Yeah. Oh,
everything you mentioned is here and west.
yeah.
So what's your plan for conquering the Mississippi East?
East. Oh. Well, I got to tell you one other thing, or Tamara will kill me. September 5th is Swing. So that's when
Oh,
it's going
Tamara, I'm coming. Steve, start saving.
Swing is going to happen.
And that's in Lockhart.
That's in Lockhart. So then that's all I think is, as long as I know, till the end of the year.
So I think Tamara should get a Western swing band.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they have the guy that
There's
owns
plenty of
Roller
people
Fast.
there.
Yeah.
They basically roll through town,
Right.
basically.
Mhm.
Well, no, there's the guy that owns the store that's
Right,
got
Roller
the band.
Fast.
Yeah,
Yeah, right,
yeah,
yeah.
get him.
Yeah, just get him.
Get him.
Make it happen.
Right.
It'd be awesome. All again, part of that package of art.
Yes.
And we need a band, and you need the right liquor, and you need the right
I
stuff.
don't care about the right liquor.
Yeah.
Right, but I want to know how you're going to conquer New York City.
That's a thought. I don't know. I don't know. At this point, my bandwidth is full. And I do have a little advisory that shows me in Kentucky, but I've never.
A foothold.
Maybe. And I have sold works in New York. My work has gone up there, so they have seen it.
Okay.
They have seen it, so.
That's the whole, you got to
I
put
know.
yourself out there, and you're worried that you're not going to get accepted, and then all of a sudden you're worried that you're too accepted.
I know. It's like now I've got to fill up another gallery for me. But no, it is. It's like, is this work too regional? And there's nothing wrong with being a regional artist, but I do, one day hope to be in museums where people are like, oh my God, that crazy idiot that had a horse named Saphead. Like this, and the little card on the side, they're like, oh my God.
No.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. I think it'll be
it'd be
good.
great.
I think it'd be fantastic, and
Oh.
Nana might be proud of me.
And I realized.
Mom would be happy. Dad might even be
Dad'll
proud
be
of it.
shaking his head. It's
It's
like,
like,
I can't believe, it's like
I
the guy in
totally-
the emu commercial.
Exactly.
He did it.
He did it. Trust me, everything is not in my favor. It's like I'm old. I didn't go to prestigious art school. All the things you're supposed to
That's
do.
just what I was going to say. I have not taken any great art history classes, but I do love the visual arts, and because I love to find work that moves me, and your work moves me.
I'm honored. I am most
It really
honored.
does.
And I'm grateful that it does resonate with a lot of people,
Yeah.
which is super, it's rewarding for me to do it.
Well, it certainly does. One more time, run through your socials and that. So
Okay.
we get it on there again.
Fair enough. Do I look in the camera and do it?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Give them
Shaunathon-
your best icon look. There you go.
Shaunathon01 on Insta, bshawncox.com, and then I am also at Commerce Gallery Davis Gallery here in Austin, Dimmitt Contemporary in Houston, Fort Works Art up in Fort Worth, and Horizon Fine Art in Jackson Hole.
Spell Shawnathon. I mean, because you
Yes.
say that and it's...
I know everybody should know how to spell it. SHAWNATHON01. I used to have a secretary that called me Shawnathon
Okay, gotcha.
because I could crank it out.
And you're cranking it out.
I did
Actually,
crank.
I think you actually take a lot of time. This has been a highlight for me.
Aw.
Steve will tell you, I couldn't
Right.
wait. When you said yes, I was very excited.
I'm
So-
honored to be included. Y'all were so fun when I
Oh,
met you
okay.
at Tumble. I
Yeah.
was like, sure.
Yeah, so Texas 10, go see Shawn's work. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook. Subscribe to us on YouTube. What am I
Like,
saying?
comment, all the rest of it. But really, make sure you give Shawn a follow.
Hey, please do. Thank you
about
much.
you, and I love this land. Oh, it takes my breath away. From the Palo Duro to the Gulf Coast plain. From the heart of the hill country to the piney wood shade. I love this land. It takes my breath away.